Why are we making such a hype about a Bankside gallery when we've got galleries and we've had galleries for years? Who run the Bankside gallery?
ABC 123, ABC 123. So I saw this post online, people, about this Bankside gallery takeover, and I thought, you know what, let me grab my mate Lou, get down here, let's talk to some local artists, let's talk to some local writers, ask them some questions, and let's see what the crack is with this graph scene.
It's from like we know all the writers who set it up, so we've been painting for like, I don't know, 10 years maybe, 12 years. So these are all people we grew up with, painting with, everything. They invited us down. I've got the train up from London to come here last night. So just word of mouth. Like, so some of our close friends who are running it set it up. So yeah, that's.
So as soon as they gave you the shout to go, you was like, I'm cracking.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, no hesitation.
Especially
book the train straight away.
This project, for like, we want to come here, don't we, and paint.
And we made something special for it. We bought all our brand new paints. Probably spent about £200 on paint just for today. Like.
Costs money. It's an expensive hobby to have. You know, it's not.
Costs a lot.
It's not playing football.
It's like £4. Like that's £4. So you can think like if you're getting.
So it's not a
20.
cheap.
No,
it's job.
not
It's not
cheap
cheap
to do. Like,
there's a lot of time and effort. A lot of
there's a lot of
energy goes into it. Yeah, and like the design as well.
And
the
it's
energy.
tiring.
This is my day off, and I'm painting a house on Preston Road. Do you know
and
what
we're
I mean?
paying to paint somebody's house, aren't we? So it's like,
yeah, it's like someone just said, it takes the council like 4 days to paint a house, and we're doing it in a few hours. So
There you go. So in regards to the painting, the piece you're actually doing today, then what's the background behind it? What's the inspiration? What made you think, right, I'm doing this Bankside gallery takeover, we're going to do this piece? Yeah.
so we didn't want to do something that was just graffiti, because we just paint graffiti all the time, don't we?
we want to do
paint,
something different to what we normally
like
do.
lettering and just like bombing and tags, and so we do that every day.
Yeah.
So we want to stand out, we want to do something. It might not be like, people might not like it, but we just wanted to do something that's different for us.
And the way we went with it was like, we're on Preston Road and all these houses are abandoned and they're going to be demolished soon. So we wanted to try and like rebuild the house. So put the windows back in, put the door back in, some plant pots, make it livable again. But then we're going to explore the idea of breaking it back down. So we're going to tag it, we're going to smash the windows, but using spray paint. And then we're going to work our way through that, explore those ideas, and then we'll put some colour on. So we're kind of just going, we're going to construct it and then deconstruct it back to where it was.
So what would you say to the people then that question this and say this is all vandalism? They put it all on that umbrella term, vandalism, no matter what it is, whether it's this painting, letters, even the Banksy painting, it's all vandalism, it should be criminalised. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I painted on Bankside Gallery and that, there has been people that have passed me and shook their head in disappointment at the fact of what I'm doing. And then a guy said to me when I was first painting on the Bankside galleries, one of his words was, what would they rather do, stare at grey walls? Do you know, so in my opinion, do you know, it kind of oversteps that idea, because it brightens the place up, it makes a place pretty, do you know, like, but I don't necessarily agree with doing it illegally. See, it's quite happy if someone gives you a wall, you know, and you come down and do it. But if you're gonna go and cost somebody some money, do you know, like I've had bikes pinched in the past as an example, do you know, like, And so I would never go steal off anybody, do you know, because I know what it feels like. You have to fork out money, hard-earned money.
You've been on the other side of that, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I know a lot of people who have been on the other side of graffiti might not go out and graffiti themselves, but like I say, I can see why it would irk, especially if it costs them money, you see. Do you know, but if you, now there's plenty of opportunity in Hull to not do that, you see. Do you know what I mean? Go and tag all over Bankside, do you know, or go paint a pretty picture on Bankside, and there's other legal walls around Hull as well, do you know. But no, as far as that goes, I think that anything like this is a good thing. If this spills into the city centre and things like that, I think it can only be a good thing. Do you know, people like to see art. You know, you can tell from the response that you get from people. You know, there's only 1 out of 100 people that you will see shake their heads and stuff like that. You know, so yeah. So I don't necessarily agree with the idea that it's vandalism. It is vandalism to a certain extent, but like I say, that's only when. Like I say, when it's costing people money, no one should have to pay for some little guy. I was going to call him Scrot then or something, but you know, they might even not be. Do you know what I mean? But you know, just go in and because then that is classed as vandalism. There's, you know, like Bankside did a piece. I went to go see Dismaland a good few years back. And he's right in what he said. It's only vandalism because somebody owns that property, so there's money involved in it. Do you know what I mean? If nobody owned the property and stuff like that, then it won't.
For instance, these type of properties,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you know, like if you kind of spraying on derelict or dud, then I don't suppose it necessarily matters to anybody. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, if somebody owns the property, that's when it becomes an issue, I think, because then it's costing that owner money to eradicate what has been done, you see. Do you know, like, and that's when it becomes an issue. That's when you don't necessarily want people doing it, you see. I mean, I wouldn't, do you know, like, I mean, I'd paint my own walls probably, but but yeah, no, like I say, so.
All these people come from different walks of life but share the same philosophy. This is what I gathered from my research and my preceding interviews on and off camera. Graffiti is art. Graffiti, whether it's on the side of a train or a wall or even a bridge, it is still art. And art as a concept is subjective, and it should remain that way for every genre of art, including street art and graffiti art. My understanding of this culture increased since I embarked on my own journey. I'm enlightened to the fact that street artists and graffiti artists are two different beings. The gap between them is too large now. I believe those two walks of life wouldn't want to mix as they're in it for different reasons. This subculture is a world many of us know nothing of. I have only scratched the surface, as I've mentioned. Perhaps on the contrary though, this is just the beginning of something greater. Bankside Gallery's stock is rising. Bankside as a whole is reinventing itself as a hub of pure talent. Exciting times are ahead, people. Let's just hope it remains optimistic and the two sides can reach common ground. There is still yet a tale to be told here, I reckon. Let's see what the future holds. Until then, draw the raised bridge.